Beast mode.
Gaming alert. Gaming's up. Tell everybody you know. Gaming's up.
Everybody.
And we're gaming.
Everybody. Okay.
Everybody in the club getting gaming.
In the club, we all gaming.
In the club, we all gaming. You're elite. Your RGB is fucking your whole shit, man.
Okay. I'll turn it down a little bit.
Your whole life is green right now. They turned you into the grink.
Does that look better?
Yeah, that's a little better. It
Okay.
was too powerful at first. It was exploding you, man.
I got it. So what do you want to start with? What are we doing? We got a lot.
We do kind of have. We kind of have an infinite amount of things to talk about. Maybe the most things ever. I don't know how to get this to work. I'm getting owned. We can start with something chill. Plup winning Evo. That shit rocks.
Yeah,
I'm so glad Plup won Evo. It's so based.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the kind of like memes that come out of it were making me laugh pretty hard. It was just like, don't enter anything, enter Evo, win, no explanation, disappear again.
Yeah. Plup has entered 2 tournaments this year, and it's been Genesis and Evo, and he's won both of them. Absolutely nasty. And I think he only dropped 1 game at Evo, something like that. He like some insane stuff.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now. Let me take a look here. Yeah, didn't drop a set. Dropped 1 game in Grants to Stengo. Everybody else 3-0'd.
2 Smash players. 2 Smash players pulling up and running it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Stengo is also that I was gonna talk about him as well. That there's something to be said about just like people being generally just good at platform fighters, because there are a couple people who you can think of immediately, and it's like Plup, Stango, Cody, for instance, who just like they get on a platform fighter and it's like, oh, that's him. Like that's all immediately like master level top 32s at majors pretty much as soon as they get the game. And then in Plup's case, like starts grinding it and then wins the biggest tournament.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and Plup was nasty at NASB too as well. That motherfucker was running that shit too. Him and Void.
Yeah.
And I mean, and Void was a top player too. I think he just liked Ultimate more. Wasn't interested in grinding rivals.
Yeah, and those are 2 like people talk about gamers. Those are 2 gamers. Like you put a control in their hands, they're gonna figure out how to be incredible at whatever given game they play. I mean, like there's how many stories are there of like Void playing like Mario Kart on Nintendo 64 and beating everybody by a minute and a half. You know, there's just Club doing the same thing in like melee adventure mode and shit like that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm just happy to see Plub play games. It'd be so sad. Like if he doesn't want to come to melee events, he doesn't want to come to melee. That's fine. I'm just glad to see him competing in something. Plub Club.
No, it's always cool.
Rivals 2 is now the property of Plub Club.
Yeah, the whole thing.
The whole.
Run it up.
And now we have to figure out how responsible Ohan is for the crimes of nouns.
Yeah, I guess we did start on a positive note, so we're gonna have to go into some shit. Unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot to say. It sucks really bad, and it's a very rude thing to not even run that by the TOs for Pat's house. Not a whole lot else to say on that one, unfortunately.
Well, it's like very obviously, like almost effectively, got to be purposeful. Like
yeah, exactly.
There had to be a situation where they were looking at the Smash calendar, looking at the dates they were trying to line up with the venue, and they went, "We will be the bigger event. Pat's house is negligible to us." Maybe they did feel bad about it. Maybe they're like, sucks, but we got to do it. Like, regardless of their attitude about it, they decided that Pat's house was not important enough to them or the scene. They were just gonna run their major over top of it. And then after Pat's house canceled, they'll be like, well, it's too late, pussy. It's too fucking late. You already fucked it, dumbass. And there was some other stuff that came out about the Noun CEO being a bit of a dumbass about some other stream stuff. Like, I think that I think that if you are a CEO and you are talking to someone in DMs on Discord, something's gone wrong.
Mhm.
Something
And I
is your company. Your company is either like not doing things correctly, or you need to be getting on the phone more, or you need to be delegating that to someone. Because if you're putting the title
yeah, check your
CEO,
email, bro.
yeah, if you're putting the title CEO on yourself, and then you're like, yeah, I gotta talk to this person we have a contract with. What's their Discord? We've lost something somewhere. Like,
Yeah, 100%. So it's a situation that shouldn't happen, and it really just speaks to kind of where their priorities are. And for those who don't know, there are two kind of versions of the Smash calendar, which are the one that everyone has access to, which it has all the big events,
yeah,
kind of
it's
like
on the
where it is, what its
Twitter.
content is.
It's got most
Mhm,
regionals,
mhm.
all the
And then there's like
announced
a hidden
majors.
one. Mhm. And then there's like a hidden one for TOs, community leaders, people like that, for stuff that's kind of like still in the works or like stuff that hasn't been officially announced yet, but they have dates for. And Ohan had access to that calendar. So he knew well in advance, even if he hadn't talked to anyone, which we'll get into as well, he knew that that was a plan, that Pat's house was going to be on that day. You could see that it would conflict with them, and still decided to have the Nouns event on that weekend. So that's kind of where the problem stems from. And then also, if you see the sort of Pat's house like big announcement that they had on Twitter,
Mm-hmm.
they also felt like they weren't kept in the loop either, because it's like if you had reached out to them, they could have worked something out or done something like that, but just nothing.
Yeah, if they tell Pat's house like more a few more months in advance, there's a chance they can reschedule. But the fact that it got announced
Yep.
like as late as possible and they didn't communicate with anyone is fucked. And there was also a big East Coast event as well that was
Hmm.
happening because they were like, oh well, Pat's house will be like a big regional West Coast thing, and then the other one will. Oh, cake! This is awesome. This rocks. Uh, Pog. Um, but they'll like they'll be big enough to be notable events on the calendar, but then they won't conflict with each other because it's West Coast, East Coast, mid-size events. But then running a major cooks both of them because you're gonna draw
Yep,
the big
exactly.
players from both of them, and so you're fucking
Hmm.
two events, effectively three, because I can't imagine that a bunch of people are gonna want to turn out and support Nouns. Like even if like the top 10 players go, the rest of the entrants are gonna be kind of small. Like who's gonna
Yep,
happily go to this event now?
exactly. Yeah. And to kind of continue with that, just to go over the announcement that Pat's House made. So according to the TOs, they had put it on the Smash calendar back in early May. So they have 3 months about of notice for this. And then Nouns announces it on July 21st. And according to them, Ohan had already spoken to the TOs and ensured that it would not conflict, and asked directly about it in mid June.
Yeah, because Ohan said they were looking at two timings around it, like before or
Mm-hmm.
after, and they were like, yeah,
Yeah.
don't worry, smiley face, this won't be a problem.
Mhm.
And then and then dropped it with
So
virtually no warning.
so it's
And
there's something.
and
You go
here's
ahead.
the thing. Once again, if you are the CEO of a company and you are relying on Ohan to talk to someone about this through Discord, something's going wrong. So
Hmm.
Ohan has to run the tournament. He should not be in charge of communications for the itinerary of the event. Oh, Ohan, like
Yep.
maybe this is more of a deal where they're just giving Ohan a stack of money and say, hey, run an event, put our branding on it, and that's fine. But then like I just the issues where we're having
Yeah.
two single people allegedly responsible for this, I just can't imagine happening at a real company.
Hmm. No, 100%.
And then on top of
And
that,
there's
like
something.
they obviously can't be valuing the grassroots community they're trying to integrate themselves into that much if they're fucking over Pat's house. It's
Yep.
Pat's house. It's been around since the dawn of time.
Yep. Exactly. And that's what I'm trying to get at, is that there's something to be said about anyone that enters the community at this point in the life cycle of like where our game is at this many years down the line, and calls themselves a CEO of a company, because traditionally that's not even like a term that you would use to describe yourself if you're in this space. You're like a tournament organizer, you are like a sponsor if you are part of the company, but like you wouldn't be a CEO.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Bro's at the
like at
CEO
no
lunch
point.
table telling people that he talked to a client on Discord and they're laughing him off that he's getting kicked out of the lunch table.
Yeah, and if you want to be serious about it, you have to pick either you are corporate and you're open about these things and you do coordination like that through some sort of liaison and you do it like with traditional like business meetings because then
Yeah.
if nothing else you're not lying about what you are, you know.
Yeah. I mean, but yeah, at
So
this point, I feel like now this is very obviously like a small group of crypto heads that are just trying to be important in the scene. Because
and
it's hard to argue that they're either a grassroots or if they are grassroots, b that their primary concern is helping the scene.
correct, yeah.
Because the same,
And
if you only ran major, if you deleted all locals from Melee, the scene's not gonna make it that much longer.
mhm,
If we delete all majors, we might be around another 10 years.
yeah.
Because
And then
you're gonna have people that keep showing up.
mhm. Yeah, and people who have been here for a long time will organize new majors and new regionals. Like
Yeah.
that's how that works. When you come on the scene and you are very obviously like a money sink that for something that isn't really guaranteed. I mean, I'm if you know us, you know how we feel about crypto. That's what I'll say about it. And you can't guarantee that that's going to be around forever and that the amount of money that you're pouring into your events is going to like be consistent over the next 10, 15 years. Then what are we here for? You know, we did it for this long without anything like that. And now you come in and you think you run the game? It's
I miss Red Bull.
it,
Red Bull treated us right, man.
yeah, Red Bull. I mean, yeah, I mean, call them corporate and call them whatever you want. At least Red Bull ran
Yeah.
events and didn't like,
Gods and Gatekeepers was awesome and it didn't cause any problems like this.
yeah.
And they've been sponsoring AMSA since the dawn of time. Your ass just opened up Start GG. I just saw you get flashbanged.
No, I have both Start GG tabs on one up and they're on dark mode. That was me switching back to the other tab.
You got dark mode on Start GG?
I got dark mode on everything. I have a dark mode extension on Chrome.
I gotta get that shit unlocked. I gotta up my Chrome
Frozen,
extension game. I'm fucking around over here. I'm getting flashbanged by everything.
frozen shambles.
I just had to turn it off because it was fucking up my Excel sheets. I'm a big
That is
spreadsheet. I'm a
crazy.
spreadsheet guy now.
That's
I make
crazy.
spreadsheets. I'm not good at them either. I used to be so good. I took like a intro to technology class or whatever in like 5th or 6th grade. I knew all the shortcuts. I was a wizard. And then I just didn't use it for years and now it's out the window.
Okay. But so
I
yeah,
I feel bad
also
for
think
Ohan because I feel like I would love to know how much of this is Ohan's fault. Because between
yeah,
running tipped off and the other stuff, it seems like he's like been in the scene. I don't know how long he's been in the scene, but it seems like he's got the scene's best interest in mind. So for him to be catching a big portion of this flack really sucks. And I'm wondering how much control did Ohan have over the dates? How like should Ohan be
yeah.
responsible for the communication between his like this Nouns tournament and the rest of like I don't know. I'd love to get the inner workings of that exposed.
Mhm.
That way we can figure out what the hell's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree with you wholeheartedly. And there are people, and I think there's something to be said about this as well, is that there are people who have come to his defense and said, like, he's never been nothing but nice to me. He's, you know, I feel like he still has the best interests at heart, even though all this has happened. So the question is, like, is he just kind of the liaison for the things that have happened and they're operating through him, or is he
Yeah, is he
kind
like
of like the kingpin
is he
of
like
it?
a logistics guy for the date of the tournament or like
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Ohan was the first was like brought back in a sense melee only majors cuz
Yeah.
ultimate and rivals and the forbidden game are pretty much all tied to each other inseparably
Yeah.
at large tournaments. And tipped off was like
Hmm.
the first big melee only major there'd been in a while. and
Hmm.
that's Ohan. So it's hard to imagine that he was like, "Fuck it, fuck Pat's house." like,
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
it would just be it would be confusing to hear that out of him.
exactly. Nah, it's very precarious, and unfortunately, it looks like there's not going to be a whole lot that will be done or that can be done for quite a while. That's the
Well, yeah, because
kind of the scary
Pat's
thing.
house can't come back until next year. Like the Smash
That was
calendars,
in their announcement.
big events are going to be planned out probably to
Mhm.
Genesis at least at this point. And
Yeah,
then you've
and
got
now the question for further down the line is going to be how, if they do this again, how are we going to stop it? Because you can't compete with a business of their size right now. There's no other tournament that's like grassroots or even anything close to it that's going to be able to put as much money and time into it as they are. You know,
I know they posted some sorry ass apology. I heard. Let me get it pulled up here.
it was it was really frustrating.
Is it even on their Twitter still?
Could be.
The pin post is still fast fall.
Mhm.
That's crazy. Me. Let me just look up Pat's house. I bet you I found it if I look up Pat's house.
Yeah.
Oh.
I found the twit longer, or not the twit longer, but like the page of the announcement from Pat's house when I did that. I didn't find the actual like nouns response to it.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Public statement about yada yada yada. Kind of acknowledge the concerns, not the concerns. People are telling you to get fucked. Let's be clear.
Yeah,
There's no worry. We're saying, hey, you did a fucked up thing. Get fucked, pal. Um,
yeah.
as we progress through the year, however, unable to find a venue in North Carolina that met the needs and was in the budget. No progress. Also, like, who is this we? Again, who is this we? Is this the CEO posting it? Like, how big is Nouns as a company that this is like a thing that's happening? Without communication to the tournaments. Yeah, progress these nuts. Type shit. Type shit, Colton. That's what I'm fucking saying. Internal discussions. We made the decision to pivot to upstate New York because this is also in tandem with them fucking over that North Carolina TO who
Mm-hmm.
wanted to run an event and they said they were going to work with them and then kind of just ghosted them about it.
Yep,
Um,
yep. And was it Time Bones or was Time Bones just close to that?
I could
Because I know
not tell you the name. That's all
that's
you.
okay. Just to kind of speak a little bit further on that, I don't know if it was Time Bones themselves, but that's also someone who I've met and has been pretty close to that whole situation. Would also have a lot of similar things to say about it because what have you, you know. So it's kind of like a running theme at this point
Yeah, we believe
where
that running an East Coast event, primarily serving the upstate New York, tri-state Toronto region on the same weekend as a West Coast event would have minimal impact. Yeah, but it's a qualifier for an invitational to a bigger event later, and Pat's is a one-off. Like you
yeah,
can't like
and
in running
to
Nouns Bowl in Ohio, we found the vast majority of attendees were from the surrounding region. Yeah, and Junebug and Josh Man and
mhm,
Aklo and Cody, like
yeah,
that's kind of a
I
like
agree.
that's yeah. And also, I don't
Mhm.
think that one wasn't a qualifier either, was it?
No,
That was
I
just
don't
a
think it
one
was.
off. So that's a whole other fucking
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. And
and
there's also sort of the residual effect of this that I didn't even think about until
I,
Salami.
and also,
Unfortunately, I do have to shout out Salami.
yeah, shout out Salami.
Go ahead.
Nouns has to know how big they are, right? Like they understand
Yes.
they're currently
Mhm.
the biggest org in Melee. So if they announce an
Yeah.
event, it's all eyes on them. Like
Hmm.
this isn't like
Hmm.
Dave announcing Run Don't Walk 2, where like real heads from the Midwest go, oh, this will be a really good event. People on the coast don't know what the fuck a Run Don't Walk is.
Yeah.
Like this is Nouns announcing an event that's a qualifier to a bigger event after that.
Hmm. So
And
the other part of it,
since the announcement of it, we've been in constant communication. Yeah, you already cooked them. Earlier
yeah.
today, we offered to cancel and reschedule the event. They already did it, bro. You only know about it because Pat's already canceled theirs. So what does you canceling do anything for?
Hmm. Yeah. And
It's crazy.
the other thing about this, the sort of smaller effect, I guess it's not really smaller though, that Salam brought to my attention was that this so Pat's house is top 100 eligible. So it does count towards the top 100. And SoCal, as stacked as they are, their locals aren't. They don't count towards top 100 because like McLeod's, which was Vertigo, what
Yeah.
now Vertigo's turned into, that's not top 100 eligible because even though it's super stacked, it's still technically a local. Their regionals don't really count because it happens more than like once a quarter or something. I forget what the exact requirement is for that. But Pat's House would have brought all the people from the West Coast out and elsewhere, obviously, because it's a big event and it's super cool. And that would have brought out more people who are kind of like on the cusp. And so for Salami, since he was number 99 this year, he was like, I want to show that I can like do more and get to that next step. So now for a lot of people that are sort of in that position are like, we have to travel from SoCal to get to an actual major to be top 100 eligible, which sucks because, I mean, who's going to get a flight from SoCal to New York on a whim? You know,
Yeah.
that's not feasible. That's just not. And I never thought I'd see the day where I have to stick up for people who live in the Bay Area, but I have to now.
Yeah. Crazy world where SoCal is getting kept down by the man. But they've got like Genesis, and that's like the only tournament they really have. And Genesis is also far, like a 6-hour drive away for a lot of them.
Yep, and it doesn't matter how many like guild houses and McLeods you go to. If your goal is to be top 100 or be competing against other top 100 players from out of region, you don't get that there.
Yeah, and Arizona,
that's just what it is.
And Smash Camp, the closest next big event is Funny Zone.
It's Funny Zone, and it's still 9 hours away.
They got slip and slide set up, and it's and it's forever away.
Yeah. So it's frustrating to see.
I would love to see more accountability out of Nouns.
Yeah,
I know. There's like legal reasons why you don't want to say, "Hey, the reason your event got fucked up and you lost all this money is our fault. Sorry," but like, if like talking about how they can like avoid this in the future would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Like just absolutely frying one of like a legacy regional of one of the biggest scenes in Melee, and then just going, we thought it wouldn't be that bad. Sorry we fucked you over. We just thought it wouldn't be that bad. It's like, okay, well you did, man. Yep. And you didn't. You not only because if they as soon as they know that venue change is happening, if they call the Pat's House guys, get them on the phone, get in a call, and be like, hey, here's the deal. Everything's all fucked. and also like I don't know what the rules are. Why could they not just do a double Nouns Invitational? Why could they not just like communicate with Pat's House and be like, hey, we don't want to fuck you up. We care about Pat's House and the Melee community in general. We don't want to split it. We don't think it will. Now that our dates are moved to the exact same time, do you want to have like we can incorporate advertisements, we can incorporate your brand. So Nouns gets to put their brand on more eyes, win for them. Yep. And then ideally, you have exactly that. You have the SoCal Smashers who don't need to travel to New York now for the only tournament being run that weekend. You still give them even more opportunity with an Invitational spot. Like I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand how I got botched so bad by again that when someone's CEO is messaging a person they're working with, subcontract or otherwise through Discord. You can't expect more professionalism, but out of people that have so much influence on the scene, you'd really like to see it.
Yep, exactly.
You'd really love to see it.
Yeah. So there needs to be more accountability for them on their side. There needs to be better communication, and don't message people in Discord if you're a bazillion-dollar company. Long and short of it.
Yeah.
So
I know Smash is grassroots and small, but if you're going to be like, I'm the CEO of this company, get a Slack, bro.
Yeah.
Get a Microsoft Teams business account, and there's just no reason you are just abysmal.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
If I fucked up like that at work, I'd be gone.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine if you and I messed up a coordination like that at work. Mm-hmm. See ya. And unfortunately, I feel like no one at Nouns is in trouble. From the way that post read, it feels like they went, well, we kind of tried, but we just didn't think it would be that bad.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Well, because
it's too late now. Sorry.
There's no like one person that it kind of falls on other than Ohan, but even then, it's like you can't fully just blame him because it's there's people above him. There's investors and
Yeah, well, and
other
there's
people who had to approve that through the scheduling.
the tweet talked about like, oh, we had internal conversations about it, and I was like, okay, which one of you motherfuckers at the internal conversation is responsible for this?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to tell us. I just need that motherfucker lashed.
Right. Right. So
We can move to top 50.
Moving from one,
Yeah,
we move to top 50. Okay,
yeah,
I was gonna say
that'll be more
Supernova,
fun.
but
That'll be more
yeah.
fun. We've had two
bad tournaments to talk about back to back. It would
yeah.
be too much for you. That's okay. Yeah, top 50 is super cool. There's a lot of like
I love
people
ranking.
who are debuting. There are people debuting super high. I'm just gonna pull it up and we're just gonna talk really briefly about not all of them, but like for a lot of standouts. I mean, your guy Holiday jumping from 100 to 50 here.
Let's fucking go, Brian.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Dark Genix debut at 49, which is funny because in the few conversations I've had with him, is just like did not believe it. He's going to be on it and like does not have very high like I don't know thoughts about his own play, and everyone tries to convince him otherwise. It's just ridiculous. But the debut at 49 and not even that surprising, to be honest. If you look at who he's beaten and had wins on over the past few years, it's not a surprise.
Shit's beast, man. Rocket is like what, top 40 now?
Rocket is 48th,
48,
which is I want to say the highest solo Young Link. Yes,
yeah, because the previous highest solo Young Link was him, like 3 years ago or whatever, when he was like 90th or 80th.
Yeah, when he got 98th, yeah. And then we have Dez Lexor at 47, our guy. Shout out to him. And that super high debut, followed by another super high debut in 7 at 46, which also is not, I mean, again, there's so much where you go, damn, that's really high. And then you think about who they've beaten and you go, that's actually not that crazy.
Yeah.
E-Poodle, 45, literally right after. So that's 3 back-to-back-to-back debuts in the top 50.
Yeah. It's nasty.
Yeah.
Oh, what else? We're in the crackhead era, man. Everyone's so good.
Yeah. Kevbot at 41, who was the favorite to win unranked if he would have been able to go. And again, no one's really even surprised by it. Has wins on everybody up in Philadelphia. Just going through the blurb here, wins over Jude, Holiday, Zanya, Nikki, and if keeps going this year, no reason couldn't be higher.
Yeah, it feels like everything from the top 10 to like the top 100 is so compressed now.
Yep.
Like
exactly.
everyone is just the floor of performance has been so raised. It's insane.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels like it used to be like the thought of, I mean, who is in the lower portion? Like you would never say that like Avalancer could beat Cobalt. You know what I'm saying? Like Cobalt wins that 100 times out of 100. But now if you're like, yo, I think Rocket could beat Kadoran, it's already happened. And that's number 48 over a guy who was 10th. Like that, it's so. There's so much less of a skill gap than ever before. And even though it is as hard as ever to get into that kind of next echelon of like the top 10, everyone below that is
the idea that over time variance is increasing in a game as execution as heavy as this is incredible. Because I feel like naturally you would think if something's this execution heavy, people are going to get more consistent and better, and variance will decrease over time. But what has actually happened is that everyone on Earth has raised their execution so high that the margin of difference between players has been so decreased.
And you almost see that at every level now with Slippy and with the ability to practice on your own. I play two Sheik mains where I'm like, how are you edge canceling needles? Like, where did you learn this? You've been playing for 6 months. What are we talking about? Yeah, stop. What's going on? I mean, and just to kind of keep the ball rolling, I mean, Graves finally debuting in the top 100 at number 40. Like, that's another person who every single year it feels like if you meet activity requirements, you're on there, and then finally just barely made it, attending enough tournaments to get there. And then we gotta talk about Dave, obviously.
Big dog. 38.
Number 38. Yeah. Highest he's ever been by I mean, literally double his last ranking, 74 to 38. So just great stuff out of him. But then again, like you look at what he did over the past year, and like we talked about at work the other day, last year it was kind of like has a bunch of really good wins, but a couple bad losses, a couple non-battle losses to like Niren at Don't Park, and then a couple other ones. But then this year it's like only lost to top 50 players.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
not
just got higher into his peak and then just completely picked up his floor.
And then versus it, like cleaned it up versus Minnesota people who we previously struggled against. Like one Burrow brawl over Tony Preeminent and Ben, where
And Lex
where he
and
had not been
Lexor.
beating Ben previously, and Lexor until it had not been beating them until recently. Had a couple losses over the past like year or so. So I mean, just incredible out of that guy. And then
That was a good tournament too.
Yeah. Zanya debuting at 35. Like, what? And again, no, that almost feels low.
Yeah, but then you go to the next release from today, and it's like Spark is in the 20s, Nikki is in the 20s. What are we talking about?
Right.
That's insane. These people are crack addicts. These are people that will that can take games off anybody in the world, and they're in the 20s.
Yeah,
bro. If you were in the 20s, if you were in the 20s 10 years ago, you were not sniffing the top 10. If you were a Fox, in the top 20, Axe and Wizrobe were washing you every time. You didn't have a chance. Axe was going to fuck you up.
Yeah. It used to be a guaranteed shot where if you made top 8 at EVO, you were a top 10 player because there's no other way around it.
Yeah,
and
you wouldn't have the wherewithal to get there otherwise.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But then you look at people who are in, this sort of like this echelon of players, and you're like, they have top 8s across the board, and they're still in the 20s.
Yeah, Nikki was in the 20s.
I said it.
And at Don't Park 8 months ago, that motherfucker beat 1, 2, 3 back to back and almost won the whole tournament. And that's 21st. Yeah. That's the kind of performance that gets you 21st the following ranking period. What are we talking about?
Yep. 100%. Also, we haven't really touched on this very much. None has really quietly had a big year, and I hadn't really been paying attention to him as much because I feel like for the past few years, he was kind of always around like 40, 50, maybe even like somewhere in the lower half of just by like nature of not being as active and etc. But like this year, you kind of look at who he's beating, you're like, oh damn, like that is a really, really solid year for him.
I think it's easy to miss because it's what people feel like should have been happening in the past 3 years. Because none was in that like top 15 range, like
there, for sure.
He was taking Zane game 5. He beat Mango. There was like a period where it's like none could do it if he like gets another step up, and then he kind of fell off.
Exactly.
I think he had like a kid or something insane. Some crazy life.
Yeah, well, and then he was in South America for what felt like the longest time and wasn't really as active because of that. So, but I mean, it makes sense now.
We should have a segment.
While we're here, we also have to. No, we should not. While we're here, we got to give our kudos to Rat Monster for
big dog
number 30.
Big dog, yeah, debuting at 30.
That a Luigi has ever been.
Was Rapim wasn't on the top 100, were they?
Rapim was not on the top 100. This
so
is
debuting
first
at
time
30
ever
is
being here.
nasty.
It
was
crazy. That's the highest that Luigi's ever been.
Surely a bait was higher that 1 year.
No. Eddie Mexico was 31st. A bait was lower than that. All the years that he was on it, this is the highest that a solo Luigi has ever been.
And debuted at it. That's crazy.
Yep.
I think.
Yeah.
Rocket being as high as Rocket is just crazy to me. Because we've talked about this before, but it's like the mid tiers that can kill Spaceys and fast fallers. It's like when they're super good, it's like, yeah, that makes sense. I understand. That tracks to me because there's a million of them, and like it's
Mhm.
punish game heavy, and you can get better results quicker. Rocket has to beat Spaceys with Young Link, which seems like it
Yeah,
should probably be impossible.
100% agree. 100%.
That motherfucker's nice with
Which,
it.
mhm.
Anyways, I was
And
saying we
then
should have an acapella segment on the pod.
you are
We
ridiculous.
should do a bit where we can we get the boys together and Rocket beat Ben with Young Link, which seems impossibler.
It's true. I mean,
Yeah,
that's a
that's
horrible, horrible matchup.
trying to think if Sheik is
You know?
worse for Young Link than the Space Animals, but I think Sheik's
Yeah.
probably worse against projectiles than
Mhm.
Fox and Falco are, or even Falcon, because you have to commit to
And then
movement,
while
and then you can't stand and F tilt things.
mhm. And then while we're in here, I'm cheating a little bit because I'm reading off who was balloted,
Well, what the
but I
heck?
also want to go over people who were not top 50, which is also kind of absurd. So Agent not on here, Balloon Day, Bonfire 10. Who else? I'm going one by one, so apologies. Grab, Frostbite, the Ices, Jariden, Jojo, Jude, and this is assuming that these people aren't on there tomorrow or past that. But I mean, let's be realistic. Um, Henry Lowercase Hero, Max the Sheik, Mott Money. Let's see who else. Rix,
Yeah, the Gittins is tough.
Stiv, the real thing. You know, it's and they're balloted. Like you, it's just absurd to look at and say these are the
These are people who are
people
not
that are
top
not
50.
on. Yeah, these are people who are not top 50.
Imagine how good Melee's got to be. There's 50 people better than Grab.
Yeah, Grab's been top 50 before.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's crazy.
It's the best it's ever been in terms of like the actual gameplay and the actual competition. Is some of the best it's ever been because anyone can beat anyone. We see upsets all the time. We see
I
crazy characters coming into the fray.
I cannot
The issue is,
believe when people are like, Melee's boring this year. This top eight
yeah,
sucks. And it's like, you are watching for hype moments in Aura. The gameplay is fucking pristine. It's never
yeah,
been better. I can't wait for
yeah.
Supernova top 8 this weekend. Yeah, no Falcos is a little sad, but Ginger is back, so
And Magi
Ginger,
will be on there tomorrow.
yeah, Ginger, you got Ginger and
Presumably.
Magi. Bobby might be
Yeah,
switching to Fox or things, so
mhm,
that
yeah.
guy's Garbanzo forever, but
Right.
Ginger's
But
doing nasty
speaking of
things to people on the
Supernova,
internet. Speaking of Supernova, but yeah, so we're gonna good bad sandwich. Doubles on Thursday at 3 p.m. Are
right?
you out of your fucking mind? Are you
Yeah,
out of your
with
goddamn gourd?
no notice, never having done it before. I saw immediately, no bullshit, probably over 100 people immediately saying, "Hey, I have to DQ. I cannot fly in this day. This
Yeah.
is not something you've ever done before. I have to cancel my flight."
Yeah, hey,
Like
thanks for letting
Randy
us
said
know
it.
less than a
Like,
week before. Thanks for
mhm,
shafting doubles more than it already gets shafted. Half of the 200 teams are gonna DQ because
yep. And
obviously they are. They don't. When was the last time a major made people compete in melee on a Thursday for any game mode?
mhm, no, exactly. I'm just gonna. I'm looking at teams right
I'm
now,
looking
and
around.
I can even tell you who's probably not going to be there. Like Falcon and InGen, they're coming from Japan. Like if they're not already here, they are not going to be there for doubles. Who else?
Yeah,
I mean, uh, there's a few here. I know that Randy and Casper said they won't be able to be
yeah,
there because Randy's flying in from
Randy was
Colorado.
flying. Yeah, Randy was
Yeah.
flying in the afternoon. Had to get refunded. Is not coming to the tournament at all anymore.
Yep. So if you're coming from out of town and you're not already, an East Coaster who can just make the drive,
Davis
it's
DM me that.
you're
There's no way that's what they said. Davis is saying their
what was it?
announcement was we thought we announced it. Oopsies. Let me
No, it
see what it
was.
was. Someone link me. Someone sent it to me
Yeah.
in on Twitter if you could.
Mhm.
I'll get it pulled
So
up. There's no way that's what they did.
it
That's
feels
such bullshit.
it just feels so it feels so disingenuous to what doubles is about. And it also the worst part is that this means that you and I were correct about all of the worst things that we had talked about within the past few
Yeah,
episodes.
we've talked
It's like
about
you
it
will kill
like
doubles
a
if you do
hundred
this.
times now. It's where it's
Yeah.
like if you want doubles to thrive, you need to make the schedule busier towards the end of the weekend. It cannot be a side event to
Mhm.
singles, otherwise it will get less entrance, it will get
Yeah.
less attention, and it's just gonna like a reverse snowball effect into it losing momentum.
Yeah. You have
And
to stream all of
maybe
top 8. Have a dedicated stream for even whatever top cut is. I mean, this is top 32. If you're streaming most of top 32, that's what you should be doing.
yeah.
Just being honest. So there's that. And then I wanna touch on this as well. We can come back to doubles in
Yeah,
a moment,
I found
but
I found the tweet real quick. Regarding melee
okay.
doubles at Supernova 25. Due to the size and logistical need of melee singles, we had to schedule melee doubles on Thursday. Okay, that's fine. That happens. I still disagree with it as a concept for melee doubles. But whatever. We thought we had communicated this change to attendees much earlier, but that did not happen.
Mhm.
Again, we gotta be firing people for this shit. There needs to be a motherfucker
Literally.
that's like, hey, we're taking whatever responsibilities you have, your ass is running pools now. Fuck off. Fuck off and run pools for the weekend. Because obviously, you know what? I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. Fucking majors and large regionals should be implementing more flex and best of 3 if this is what's gonna happen to doubles.
No, I agree.
Round one of a major. I'll say it. Round one of a major does not need to be best of 5.
No.
Maybe not round 2.
I mean,
Maybe round 2 can be best of 5. But we're
I was gonna say, I mean, even
if you
up to
can't run, I know it's the biggest tournament of all time. I don't know if that was melee specific or if it was just like total entrance or what.
it is melee specific. That was what I was about to talk about, but I'll
If
let
you
you finish your
but
point
like
first.
if you got a fucking intro, like I'm sure that looks great on advertising or whatever, but you are now sacrificing the quality of your event to meet those numbers. So like what have you actually accomplished other than getting a cool little like analytics marker for future advertising? Because next year you're gonna go, oh, biggest tournament of all time, and it's like, hey, remember how you put doubles at 3 p.m. on a Thursday?
Yeah. Yep.
So you want competitors
And then
to fly in Wednesday night or Thursday morning for a 4-day weekend of competing. Bro, melee players not getting paid enough to do that.
Yeah.
I would almost rather them have gotten rid of doubles or run it like all best of 3 on set Friday than do this shit.
100%. Exactly.
Just exhausting.
So, and the other thing I wanted to touch on is that it also feels disingenuous in the same vein to say that you're the biggest tournament for Melee of all time, but entering is free. All you have to do is pay the venue fee in order to enter Melee at Supernova. So what they're actually doing is creating this like oversaturation of players and then making it harder on themselves. So I'm looking at pools.
I would love
people,
to go look through DQs after this weekend.
Yeah, DQs, people who are going like who would normally be O2ers doing way better just by the nature of the field.
Yeah.
You know, I mean there's going to be people who make top 128 that are like traditionally at a major, no offense to them, not there, you know. I mean, I'm looking at this. They have 128 pools and 8 people per pool. That's not even correct. It's like 20 people per pool because there's this many people.
Jesus.
And the tournament that they beat for this, which you would have been around for this, you understand where I'm coming from, was Evo 2015. And so it's
everyone
like
hated that tournament.
Yeah. And everyone hated that tournament, but people showed up because the hype was more organic. It was the doc, the storylines, all of the gods, you know.
And Evo's a whole brand. Evo's a whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you go to Evo and then you tell people you went to Evo and they go, holy shit.
Yeah, I went to the biggest fighting game in the world.
And that's how it still is. Yeah, they still do it to this day. I've had that interaction with people who told me they were going and they didn't even play the games that were there.
Yeah.
And so for you to be competing with that as a tournament with a ton of backing and a ton of funding and doing it not organically, doing it because you know that you can just get people to garner attention without making them pay extra because there's no actual entry fee and there's not as many like as many storylines. There's not the five gods like there was back in the day. It's just like you saying we want to get people here even if they go to because it makes it
Yeah,
look better.
it feels like
And that doesn't feel right.
they started running the tournament this year, and their express goal was not to create a good new experience or run an excellently run tournament, but to get the entrance. Like they've been talking about it forever. Like I feel
Yep.
like anytime I've
That's
seen
exactly what it is.
Supernova advertised in the last couple months or however long the advertising has been, it has been about the entrant count. Which, like, respectfully, I
Mm-hmm.
don't care. Like, is it good? Is it good that you are getting a lot of people to show up for a Melee tournament? Yes, objectively, that is a good thing. The fact that it's been like the main focus is like, okay, sure, but if it's run bad and your fucking doubles over on a Thursday, and then your communication is abysmal on top of it,
Mm-hmm.
then who gives a fuck? Oh, great, biggest tournament of all time, and checks my notes. It was a disaster. Who cares at the end of the day?
Yeah.
Like
And even
that's
with
something that looks really good to a boardroom of schmucks that won't be there in the venue. Like,
yeah, guys who wear suits and sit in conference rooms all day go, "Oh, that's awesome. You made a ton of money. You got a ton of people to enter." For the viewers and the players,
yeah,
the people that actually care and give a fuck, they're going, "This is horrible. Why would you do this?" I don't want to watch a 2,500 person tournament of people that would mostly go to at their local anyway. And again, not a knock to them. It is not their fault. But when you structure a tournament in this way, just as a cash grab and
yeah,
to get people there to say that you have people there, that's when it's a problem. And with that even being said, it's still stacked as fuck.
yeah. I'm sure.
Like,
I'm sure Top 64 will be a great experience. I'm sure Top 64 will
yeah,
be incredible.
I'm looking at top 64 and it looks incredible even if you ignore all the bullshit that we just talked about, which is why it's almost to an extent even more frustrating. You know, I'm just gonna read off some things here just for random matches. I mean, winners round one of top 64, Nikki Panda, Crudo Morse Code, Jmook Ben, and a Ditto. Like, let's see what else. Aura Ginger, which almost, if Ginger gets back up to speed, could go either way. We got Spark and Kevin Maples. We haven't seen Kevin Maples on a big stage in a while, feels
True.
like. And some of the top 8 qualifying matchups are Moki Axe. That's fun. Cody SGJ beat him the last time in that JV4 game 4. Crazy. At Aklo Hungry Box. And then in losers, the qualifiers are going to be SCJ Aura if SCJ loses, Aklo Jmook, Crudo Nunn, Axelod. Like these are all fun matches, and anyone there could beat anyone to qualify for top 8.
Yeah. I feel like any more top 64 of the brackets is like you have to like try to mess them up. There's like it's been so formulaic. No one's done anything new with it for so long. It's like
Mm-hmm.
you get one or two mainstreams, whatever you can afford or budget or manage like logistically. You run a quad stream that's poorly managed on the side with someone sometimes updating
Yep.
scores, sometimes not. And then when you get to top 24, you start putting more stuff on stream, ease off the quad stream, and then you transition to the mainstream for the top 8 qualifiers and go from there. Yeah,
Yeah.
the ult melee
That's
quad
exactly
stream
what
does have
it
to
is.
go. That is dog shit. I do not turn it. Wait, a melee quad stream, I will put on a side monitor and I will monitor it for matches I care about. If it's like 2 of them are ult or 3 of them are ult on like a quintuple, we delete that. That gone. I'm not turning that on. I do not want to
Yeah,
see
I don't.
two. The quad stream is for keeping updated on what's happening in bracket and getting to watch things for a vibe. It's not very fun to tune into individual matches on it unless it is particularly close because the melee is
Mm-hmm.
already small. But then if half of that is ult,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not turning
Yeah.
it on, man. I'm not
Also,
doing it.
stop having commentators on quad streams. Why are we doing that? Why, like, because I don't like it.
They need
because
to.
I
They
don't
need
think
to. They need to know what the mission is, and it is not to commentate any of the individual matches. It is to get on there and create a vibe. Like you need to get on
yeah,
there and like just
and that's
bullshit.
fine. I
But like when people are like they try to jump
yeah.
between the matches a little bit, and they try to commentate the quad stream, it does not go well. Yeah, I get it. You want to show all the games, they don't need to be on stream. Yeah, with Slippy technology, we can now record it, and then you can upload it later, and they will still get views on your YouTube. Alternatively, you can just do the one side stream, or maybe a duel. Like the quad is just so much.
Yeah.
The quad is so much, and and then like half the time it's not done particularly well, like where scores are wrong or players are wrong, or the players or scores are both and or wrong, and maybe not getting updated either.
Mhm.
Or like players are just like, and maybe some of it's not. So maybe the players just aren't listening, and it's like, hey, wait, let me get this updated. And they sit down, they just start playing, and it's like I just feel like they are not mad. The auto quad stream, if you can run an auto quad stream and it works, then I don't care. The problem is I feel like most people are not
Yeah.
doing that.
Yep. I don't think most people would. I mean, we don't even have everybody on the USB hot swap in yet. We don't even have every setup guaranteed to have the software that it needs before the tournament starts. It's going to take a long time until we get, to the production side of things.
Yeah, but you can set aside like 2 rows and be like, this is where top 32 matches are going to be played, and then like make sure like 20 Wii's are set up correctly for a major.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like if you can't do the whole venue, you can't do the whole venue. Who cares? Whatever.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You can like there's better ways to make this happen. Don't put ultimate on it. Yeah, make it automated, like Grey Code's talking about. Make that work. But if you can't do those, just don't do it, man. And if you have some people that are not funny, do not put them on commentary. If you are a frame data game plan analytics guy, stay the fuck off the quad stream. That's just not where you're supposed to be. It's not that your commentary style isn't valuable or important. You're just you brought tennis shoes to the gravel lot, and it's not gonna work. You gotta get your fucking boots on. We're getting dirty. We're getting muddy, and you got your fucking slacks on. You're on the wrong block, buddy. Take your ass over to top 8. Somebody has to find out. There is someone in the crowd, and they don't know what Doctrinaire does, and that's where you gotta be.
Yeah, that's your job. It's the bat signal in the sky. We're shining it for you, bud. We got it.
I saw Jacksonville popping off about Reddit people about commentary styles. Arguing with people on Reddit's so funny. What is Jacksonville's problem? I cannot imagine reading something on Reddit and being like, that guy's wrong. I gotta correct that. I gotta fix that. I see someone wrong on the internet. I go, that's like,
you never win. Yeah, you never win. You just because as soon as you reply, the guy goes,
yeah,
and then they get to
especially if you're someone like Jack. Like there's a two-sided prong for Jackzilla. Either they don't know who he is because they aren't actually that invested in the Melee scene, or they haven't been around, and like Jackzilla's authority and or opinion will mean nothing to them, or they do know, and now they've gotten the attention from the authority figure, and they win anyways. Like just fucking block that motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Take a screenshot of them and make fun of them on the internet. Bully them. Like anything is more productive than like. I feel like people don't change their mind when given evidence. You can find the studies on it. Like. And someone who's giving their as John opinion giver about Melee commentary, I do not need to be listened to. If I don't like it, I will mute the stream, and I will. You're still getting all the ad revenue from me. You're still getting like the amount of people that will turn off a stream for Melee because of the commentators has got to be less than 0.5%, if not even less. Because then at worst you're like going to like the co-streams and stuff. You're going to watch it in Slime's chat. You're going to watch it in Bobby's chat or whatever top player didn't make it. Like you're not losing eyeballs because of commentators. The commentators are the sprinkles on the cookie. You're not worried about the kids like, well, there's no sprinkles. I'm not gonna eat it. That kid's a loser. Fuck that kid.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and most of the people that I've talked to, and I assume that you've talked to as well, they'll just mute it or, have the stream up in a different like, on a different screen or
Yeah.
tab out or something. Very few people will be like, "I'm not fully not going to watch
Yeah.
this," you know?
Listen, I'm the classic Walt and Radar top 8 hater. That is not. It will never stop me from tuning into this stream. I mean,
Yeah,
maybe I get annoyed and maybe I mute it. That makes me an asshole. Sure, I'm still watching it. You're still getting that. You're still getting my analytics on the stream.
yeah. No, 100% agree. Yeah, that's
My only commentary complaint is when they talk over each other. Yeah, that's fair. That's here's my problem with that, Davis. Our standards for commentary are so low that the majority of commentators are not people that are good at commentating, but that are just well spoken. That's
I
like the
agree.
average melee commentator. It's just a person who is decent at speaking and vaguely knows about the game. These are like I just
Mhm.
and it's apples to oranges. But if you compare melee to like CS or counter or not Counter Strike or like Overwatch League or even Valorant, the commentators just are so much better about knowing what to do. And I know part of it's that melee is so fast paced, but I feel like commentators feel the need to keep up with it, and they just you can't, and you shouldn't try to. And that's part of what makes
Yeah,
homemade waffle and Phil so good. They are not in a rush to get the next interaction out.
yeah.
They're
Mhm.
they're cracking a joke. They're going, "Oh, you see that thing they did?" And then they're gonna marinate
Yeah.
it in a little bit, and like, "Oh, go on to the next
Mhm.
thing." Like you do not have to catch every
Yeah.
beat of gameplay. Because here's the thing: either you're gonna spend the whole match explaining every new like every small iteration of an interaction to people, or and most likely they're not gonna get it because if you don't get it initially, if you don't get like macro and or micro interactions, a commentator explaining it is not going to give them the depth of the mix up to understand the risk reward of the different
Mhm.
things. Like such a deep game, you're not going to explain that. And the people that do already get it don't need to be explained it. Like it's just not
Yep.
the place or the
Uh,
time.
yeah, yeah. And there's also a sort of an underrated part of commentary where you're able to take a smaller interaction and kind of extrapolate the data to something larger that's been happening over the set where you say, oh, I noticed that they overshot the aerial here. That's kind of indicative of like how they're adapting to
Mm-hmm.
the way that the other players played neutral throughout this whole thing. And then you're talking about more of the general concept with that small interaction in mind instead of being like, oh, blah, 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 because you have to go so fast.
Yeah, great back air to catch this mix up at the end of the thing, and then like you just missed two mix ups. You just missed two
Yeah.
minutes, like, and they just
Yeah,
gotta
now
let it.
the stock's over.
They gotta let the gameplay breathe.
Yeah.
Cody lost the stock coming down. How will he get his opening?
Mhm.
Let it sit. Let it
You
happen.
wait. Yeah.
And
You
like
wait for the
let
opening
him
after
get
the
into the
neutral interaction.
combo. Let him get into the combo and be like,
Yeah.
"What a great opening by Cody. Way to read the XYZ." Like you just don't have to catch every bit of it. You
Mhm.
can't. You can't, and you shouldn't try. This play-by-play, like micro analysis stuff on comms, like it's not good. Leave it for like if you got space between games, then you can mention like there was an instance where X player hit this back air to cover the mix-up, which is like indicative of them having a great read on the other opponent, the player's timing and rhythm or general sense of game plan. Or they can tell players rushing instead of like being relaxed, and let's see how that affects the next game. Like you have to be macro,
Yeah.
and because you're being macro, you should not be like rushing all the time. There's so little dead air on
Mhm.
melee comms, and it's like melee's so fast paced. We do not need more stimulus. There's already so much shit going on. Like
Exactly. No, I fully agree.
and then
So,
if you
no.
talk less, the chances that you say something stupid or repetitive is less. Like it just like I feel like it gives them such a larger margin of error.
Yep. Yep. I fully agree.
We're not
Fully
talking
get
about
where
the
you're
NBA
coming from.
players today.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's already been an hour. I don't and I feel like we didn't even really talk about everything we want to talk about.
Yeah,
We
we didn't
talked
get
about
to.
at least a lot of it. So,
Well, everything we wanted to talk about was so big and large, and also sizable.
yeah. And we'll have top 20 the next time that we talk about it. Probably and then the next episode we have will be after Supernova. We'll be able to talk about actual Supernova, and then it'll be closer to Collision. We can do a little Collision precursor,
And we'll know
which
we'll know
is
more about
also a whole
SD
thing.
Iowa as well.
Yeah, we're
Just keep
doing more
your
work on that.
keep your eyes peeled for
Just, I
SDIO
guess,
events in the next week. We're gonna have some
yeah,
announcements on that. Maybe some
probably
merch.
gonna, yeah,
Maybe
maybe a little bit.
maybe a little bit announcement. Maybe you get to
Yeah,
find out when voting is.
Mm-hmm. You never know. You never know if you don't tune in, you don't pay attention.
You know what?
So,
I'm gonna put Dave on blast just for a little bit, just for a moment, because
yeah,
he's so talented and hot, and he has a wife that loves him, and he's top 38 like a fucking bastard. Uh, I,
yeah.
we're trying to get events lined up and smoothed out, some of which are reliant on Dave. And on the 4th, he says, "I'll ask tomorrow." I give him I do not talk to him on the 5th. I don't want to bother him. He's a grown ass man. If he's get to it, he gets to it. Otherwise, I'm not gonna nag him about it. And I'm honestly not that pressed about it. We have a cushion. If I need to get freaked out about it, I'll freak out. I'll crash out. 10 a.m. this morning. I still haven't heard from Dave, and I'm like mentally going through my to-do list for the day. I'm like, I should bother Dave, and I send him Rob5, which is the suitcase guy, big suitcase guy sticker. he replies, Bloma. What did I do? I just reply, what the heck? Like, it's funny. No hard feelings at all. Yeah. He says, and then he just says, remind me at 2 p.m. I said, reminder set for 2 p.m. Central Time. I text him at 2:03 with a bunch of alarm clocks. Nothing. Crickets.
Yeah.
We gotta beat this guy up.
Yeah, so we're that is to say, I guess, that we will announce when the qualifiers will be based around when we believe the monthly will be.
Yep.
So I think it's good to end on. A little get your little toes wet for it.
Ben's Basement 2 gonna be a qualifier. No, it ain't.
But I mean,
no, it ain't.
At this rate,
nope. You ain't got a rate. You ain't got a rate enough to make that happen. You don't ain't got a graph that has enough angles on it that is steep enough. The exponential multiplier required for that rate don't exist yet. They haven't gotten that high in the numbers. They're still counting.
Yeah.
All right. Go to your locals. God damn it.
Go to your locals. Have a good night, y'all.
Go to your locals forever.